Is Madam finally about to lose everything? With a mountain of evidence threatening to bury her alive and the walls of Eden starting to whisper with betrayal, this just might be the season that changes everything. This is Ruthless TV, and I'm diving headfirst into the second half of All the Queen's Men Season 4, the most intense and explosive stretch of the series yet. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to get into my overall review of the trailer, but I want to point out the obvious with our girl Blue here. Now, after everything that she's been through, the trauma, the shootouts, the betrayal, Blue was unraveling right in front of our eyes, right? In Season 4A, we watched her fight off panic attacks, struggle through flashbacks, and cling to therapy sessions just to keep it all together. But now in Season 4B, the question is louder than ever. Can Blue keep fighting for a club that is slowly killing her? Or is it time to let go and save herself? I don't know, y'all. Something's just not right with Blue. The enforcer, the protector, Madam's ride or die, right? For years, she's been Madam's most loyal soldier, handling all the club business without blinking. But last season, we saw a different side of Blue, one that was broken, tired, and maybe, just maybe, one that was ready to walk away from it all. Will she be one of the first ones to turn her back on all the shenanigans and the first one to turn on Madam? I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But a bigger concern, one that is the biggest of them all, is that Madam is in serious trouble. Not regular club trouble, but the kind of trouble that leads to federal indictments, mugshots, and the clankety clank clank of a jail cell door, right? For seasons, Madam was operating above the law. Period. Like running Eden with somewhat of a cold heart, in my opinion. But this time, she's up against something that she can't finesse her way out of. And this trailer wastes no time reminding us that the evidence is definitely stacked against her, our beloved Madam, higher than ever. There's DNA, there are bodies, witnesses, and there's a lead detective who isn't backing down. Of course, that's Detective Davis, who's moved from being an annoyance of sorts to becoming a serious threat. She was very annoying in previous seasons, right? To me, she was pretending to be interested in Doc, then not interested. And she's not impressed by Madam's money, her reputation, or her ruthless past. She was more focused. I guess she was very meticulous. And for the remainder of that season, it showed us how she built her case like it was her last. Because now Madam is being tried on multiple charges. And the trailer shows us these criminal breadcrumbs that every single one of them points directly to Madam. But here's a twist. Even with all of this heat coming down, Madam still moves like a queen. There is no fear in her face, only strategy, right? It's clear from the trailer that she's definitely not giving up on Eden without a fight. In fact, she's gearing up for war. I mean, her team, however, it's a different story, right? Because while Madam might be sharpening her weapons, some of the people closest to her just might be preparing to throw her under the bus. Like, one of the biggest questions hanging over this season is who's gonna betray Madam first? Somebody gonna snitch with proof for sure. And in the trailer, we see Blue in a couple of shots back in that back room saying it's an inside job. And then we see her in a couple of other shots, but she's always been Madam's muscle, right? By her side through it all. But Blue had, I don't know, she's been seeing a therapist lately, like in last season, right? And during those sessions, she discovered that she had been suffering from a whole bunch of flashbacks and PTSD moments, right? So will Blue quit the club in this season to protect her own mental health? And will this exempt her from the list of betrayers or not? Let me know down in the comments. And then there are the more obvious betrayers, right? Like Raphael Damascus. Is that his name, y'all? I forgot. I think that's his name, right? The concierge. His loyalty has been very shaky, right? Always. But he's always had a soft spot for Madam. But soft spots and red bottoms don't hold nothing up against federal pressure, right? But they probably don't even know anything about concierge, so he may be out of the lineup by default. Then we also see Midnight getting arrested, and he's walking around out there in the yard amongst all the common folk. Will Davis offer him immunity though? A deal of some sort, or a chance at freedom? What will he do? I don't know. Midnight knows way too much. He's been too close to Madam for a number of years. If he flips, he could possibly take Madam's whole empire down, right? Is Midnight tired of all the crime, the club drama? Is he conflicted? Has he reached his limit? We also, for a fact last season, saw that trouble was down to that precinct, about to crack under pressure. Now, here's one for sure where she may be torn between doing what's right or staying loyal to a woman who practically saved her life a couple of times, right? I don't know. Trouble is trouble, right? And Babyface. His loyalty to Madam, yeah, he's loyal, but he's always had this hustle first mentality to me. Hence Miss Tandy, hence Miss Patty. And if loyalty gets in the way of money or his survival, he won't hesitate to shift sides, right? Again, this is just my opinion. But it's not just personal betrayals that threaten Madam. It seems that Club Eden itself is also under attack and will need savaging. We see flashes of violence, folks getting beat up all over the place. Atlanta police are everywhere, just absolute panic. And her sister and former business nemesis plotting against her, whispering all throughout that rooftop cafe, Maddie B's. And when you've been at the top for so long, like Madam has, you really just stop looking down. You stop noticing the people beneath you, the ones you overlooked and underestimated or used. These are the ones who come back with vengeance, right? So Madam's betrayer might be closer than we realize. Now, let's talk about these courtroom scenes, because they're not just here for dramatic effect. They're central to the season as a whole. I know the courtroom has become a total battlefield. You've got Detective Davis presenting evidence, Madam's lawyer stalling, trying to spin stories, and witnesses lining up to take the stand, I'm sure. Now, these scenes get even more intense with actual video footage of Madam pushing the hillbilly from the hospital window. Y'all remember that? Now, we can literally feel the tension. They did a great job. Whoever edited this trailer, great job with the sounds of the gavel slamming, the wimpy lawyer. Every frame is a countdown, right? And let me just preface this lawyer here, he's just not doing it for me. I know he migrated from last season, but Madam needs a dream team. With these charges that she's facing and the amount of evidence against her, that's one thing that you never want to hear your lawyer say. And that's suggesting that you take a plea deal. She needs to get rid of him. Period. And that's probably why we see her pushing him in this trailer. But if we know Madam like we know Madam, she's not walking into court empty-handed. She's got her own moves, right? Her own alliances and her own dirt to throw. If Davis thinks that she's the only one who can play dirty, she's in for a rude awakening, right? She should know this about Madam by now. We get a glimpse of Madam making quiet deals, pulling strings, even possibly blackmailing someone in a position of power, right? Like she's always done. She don't care if you're a lawyer, judge, or detective. I mean, this is what makes her so dangerous, and I love it. I love this character. But even with all the power, we can feel some shifting going on, right? The trailer carries a tone of desperation of some sort that we haven't really seen before. And we know about these obvious backstabbers, but what about the loyal ones? The ones closest to her? These people just may not want to be followers anymore. They may have become real threats. They're players in a game that they plan to win, along with Detective Davis and the others, and Madam, for all her brilliance, might be too distracted by this court case and her own freedom to realize it. Somebody's got to take a stand, right? Somebody who we least expect. That turns state's evidence to take us into the next season, something juicy, some real tea, because sadly enough, we've really seen this before with Madam, and she walked, remember? So what's the end game here? Will Madam find a way to beat the charges? Will she flip the script and destroy Davis before it's too late? Or will this be the end of Eden as we know it? I don't know. Honestly, the season feels like a setup for something huge. I really feel like Madam is going to face the ultimate betrayal by someone that we least expect. Like I said before, either Madam's going to go down once and for all, or she's going to rise up and be more powerful than ever. There is really no middle ground here. And judging by the trailer, all the Queen's Men might be about to give us the most explosive episodes of the entire series. But here's what I want to know. Who do you think is going to flip first? Is it Blue, Concierge, Trouble, her sister? Or will it be someone we least expect, like Dime or somebody, Midnight? Who do you trust? And more importantly, who does Madam trust that she shouldn't? Because if there's one thing this trailer makes clear, it is that trust will get you killed, loyalty is a myth, and survival, well, survival is earned by any means necessary, for sure. Drop me your theories in your comments below. I want to hear all your predictions. These are just my thoughts. And your favorite scenes from the trailer, let me know that too. And who do you think is going to make it out alive? Who's going to get dropped off? And while you're down there, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of All the Queen's Men like I am, then go ahead and sub to this channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, you guys, on Ruthless TV, and I'm going to see you on the next one.